Black World, Black World, Black World TV. Greetings and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Black World TV. Your news, your views, our voices. United we stand, divided we fall. Today's broadcast is about the Ku Klux Klan application that was found in a United States police officer's home, further adding more evidence that the United States police force across America has been infiltrated by white supremacists and other racist organizations. So a police officer in Michigan was terminated, fired, on Thursday after a prospective home buyer who had been touring the officer's house posted a picture on social media of a framed Ku Klux Klan application he had seen there, spurring an internal investigation. Frank Peterson, the city manager of Muskegon, confirmed Friday that the officer, pictured Charles Anderson, had been fired, but said a report on the inquiry conducted by the Muskegon Police Department would not be released until next week. Maybe they're probably editing out certain bits of information for the lame person to be able to digest. But I digress. The city announced on August 8th that Charles Anderson, who is white and had been with the department for more than 2 decades, had been placed on administrative leave after he was found, quote, in possession of certain items associated with a white supremacist group, unquote. That announcement came one day after Rob Mathis, the prospective homebuyer, posted on Facebook the photo of the application, which is blank. So I'm going to pause for a second. I would like to know, with this internal investigation, are they going to go back over the past 2 decades and research the cases this Charles Anderson, this police officer, was actually involved in? Are they going to go over the last 2 decades that he was working and look at all the cases, especially involving Black Americans? Because Black Americans happen to be the one group of people who are discriminated against the most. So do we look at his past records over the last 2 decades to see what type of cases he has been involved in, and then look at those cases to see if they were in fact warranted any prejudice and racism in those cases? We should be demanding that the Muskegon Police Department investigate those cases. But I digress. Although details of the investigation have not been released, Jeffrey Lewis, chief of the police department and Muskegon's director of public safety, told the city's commissioners on August 27th, quote, "What you saw on social media is pretty much the way it is," unquote. "Nothing was revealed to us that shocked us," Lewis said of the investigation. The Muskegon Police Department, Anderson, and the Police Officers Association of Michigan did not immediately respond to calls and emails seeking comment on Friday. Anderson's wife, Rachel Anderson, told a local television station that her husband was not a Klan member. Quote, "He can't say anything right now," Rachel Anderson said. "I wish we could, because it would probably set a lot of things straight," unquote. Well, let me just pause for a second here and state that, Rachel Anderson, it doesn't matter what kind of excuse you nor your husband come up with. The fact remains, you had a white supremacist application hanging on your wall framed. If that isn't the sure sign of a racist carrying out the ideology of what they believe in, I don't know what else would represent who and what you are. But I digress. MLive, a media company based in Grand Rapids, Michigan, reported that the police department's policy manual does not specifically ban private displays of prejudice, but says officers should, quote, perform all duties impartially, without favor or affection or ill will, and without regard to status, sex, religion, political belief, or aspiration. Mathis, 52, an Army veteran who was black, said that the picture he had posted on Facebook of the KKK application had drawn hundreds of messages, some supporting what we had done and others condemning or threatening him. He also said that the police had warned him about a death threat. Referring to Anderson, Mathis said, "It's unfortunate that he's in our community because he might have put people in jail on false charges, especially minorities. Because he was a police officer, it was my moral obligation to say something about it." Exactly, you did the right thing. Just like the police always say, if you see something, say something. And that applies to them also. He said that he and his wife, brother and son had toured the officer's house in early August with an estate agent. "The first thing I noticed walking through the dining room was a Confederate flag placemat on the table," Mathis said. As the family walked around, he said his wife noticed a police officer's coat and he saw 2 more Confederate flags in the garage. And when he went upstairs, he saw the framed KKK application hanging on the wall. He said his wife was upset and he told her, "We're getting out of here." The real estate agent was very apologetic, he said. So, without going further into this story, I'll just say that this police officer, Charles Anderson, and his wife, Rachel Anderson, are both racist. Even though they want to deny it and come up with every excuse in the world, the fact that they had even Confederate flag materials in their home as well is a sure sign that these two were surely what I'm saying that they are, racist. Anyways, in other news, there was an apparent KKK recruitment flyer that was found at a high school in Texas. School authorities in San Antonio have launched an investigation after a student found what appeared to be a Ku Klux Klan flyer in a bathroom. The student found the flyer on Tuesday, wedged between a soap dispenser and the wall in a bathroom at East Central High School in San Antonio, Texas. He sent a photo to his mother, who posted the image on social media. That's how the school found out, Brandon Oliver, Director of Marketing and Communications for East Central Independent School District, told the news outlet. The principal reached out to the mother that night, and the school opened an investigation the following day, working with the East Central Police Department and federal agencies like the FBI. A staff member then found a second identical flyer also in a boy's bathroom. The flyers depict a hooded figure dressed in KKK garb, holding a torch above his head while riding a horse and wearing KKK robes. It reads, "Save Our Land" at the top with "Join the Klan" across the bottom. Save our land, join the Klan. The perpetrator has so far not been identified, but Oliver said the school is making it a priority to catch and punish the individual. The FBI said that there is no federal crime in this case as of now. Quote, "If in the course of the local inquiry information comes to light of a potential federal violation, the FBI is prepared to investigate." FBI Special Agent Michelle Lee, a spokeswoman for the Bureau's San Antonio office, said. However, no matter how offensive a viewpoint may be, expressing certain beliefs in and of themselves is not a crime, and the FBI can never open an investigation based solely on constitutionally protected activity. Only 2 flyers have been discovered so far, Oliver said, and that they do not seem to be getting distributed on campus. Quote, "It has been completely isolated," he said. Naisha Jackson, the mother of the student who found the flyer, spoke to a local outlet about the incident. She said she was outraged when she found it. Quote, "I was like, you got to be kidding me," she said. "Even if it's a joke, it's very scary with all that's going on right now, and I just want to raise awareness that this is not okay, and you don't want to fear for your child to have to go to school and deal with this," unquote. East Central is a majority Hispanic school with 16% white students and 9% black students, according to demographic data received by the news outlet from Oliver. So here at Black World TV, we're going to close this commentary out like this. It's unfortunate that we find out in 2019 of a police officer who has been on the police force and carrying out his job duties over the past 2 decades as an undercover racist, who has now been exposed. While in another instance, in a high school in San Antonio, Texas, we find more racist hatred materials, recruitment materials at that, of a hate group, of a white supremacist terrorist group by the name of the Ku Klux Klan, asking for people to join their gang. In 2019, people of color, starting from black people to Mexicans, brown people, Hispanics, Asians, Samoans, and every other ethnic and nationality group in between, we all have to suffer at the hands of people just like I'm mentioning in these 2 stories. And they happen to be part of the dominant society. And that's what we say and mean when we say you have a system of racism that other people simply cannot be. This is Black World TV. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope that you take a moment to hit that subscribe button. And if you can't do that, at least hit the thumbs up or thumbs down. Give some type of feedback instead of just sitting there doing nothing. This is Black World TV. Your news, your views, our voices. Take care. Peace out.